We're fair 5-year off of using nearly unrestricted force of mini-suns. Several begin UPS tell, nuke melting reactors how could ensure plentiful, inexpensive, and pure power. In a planet of world heating inflicted by our drug addiction to fossil embers, down there is an immediate requirement to discover stable option source of power. If we don't, the next looks evidently dismal for millions of human beings on the earth. Water supply and meal shortages guideline to hunger and warfare. Nuke melting has length been heralded as a capacity reply to our prayers. But he's ever been 30-year off, on to the production jest. Now several begin UPS are proverb they can do melting a business fact lot sooner. Nuke melting is the merge of nuclei to produce rank of power, and it has the capacity to address our power meltdown. He's the identical trial how powers the sunshine, and he's pure and, comparatively, secure. Down there are no emissions. But coercion these nuclei, deuterium and tritium, both of forms of hydrogen gas, to detonator along by vast blood pressure conducted enormous amounts of power, more than rather than we've controlled to get out so distant. Achieving power profit, the spot at that we get out more than power rather than we put in, has been tantalizingly subtle. Not any more than, melting begin UPS tell. The is the SpaceX time for melting, says Christopher Murray, head execution of General Melting, a Canada business aim to show melting on a business scope during the following 5-year. He's the time while the ripening of melting scientific is combination in the occurrence of 21SAINT age authorizing technologies love supplement manufacture and top temperature superconductors. Melting is no much longer 30-year off, he maintains. The scientific over the concept has been tested, says Sneak Allison, honored prof of physical science at Keble School, Oxford. The problem is more than pragmatic. This time scale we can't be certainly on, but the main scientific is allowed and the problems are engineering ones to do in material, says Professor Allison. A main problem is how to construct a pattern powerful quite to include the plasm, the really top temperature nuke broth in that the melting reactions get location, by the enormous pressures require. Fume system will include to survive levels of warmth and force related to such skilled by a spacecraft de-entering orbital, says Professor Ian Chapman, head execution of the UK Nuclear Power Credibility, UKAEA, robot support system will as well be necessary, as so as system for cultivation, convalescent and store the gas. UKAEA is looking in all these issues, and is how's new study means at Cullum Scientific Centre close Oxford to job in production to evolve solutions, says Professor Chapman. Several individual power firms believe they are overcoming these pragmatic challenges more rapid via the use of new material and technologies. Oxfordshire-based tokamak power is work on globular tokamaks or reactors how use top heat superconductors, heights, to include the plasm in a really powerful magnet box. Top heat in the background of the branches of physical science tool a clearly frigid, 70 C or under. They've been by far the largest success to date, says Jonathan Carling, the company's head execution. A globular tokamak is a lot more than effective surveying, and we can radically enhance the portability and the effectiveness. And since he's less, it can be more than versatile, and the price to construct is as well reduce, he says. The business has constructed 3 tokamaks so distant, in the tertiary, SAINT 40, constructed of 30 mm, flawless steel and with heights magnets. The June it reached plasm temperature of more than rather than 15 millionth C, heat rather than the mandrel of the sunshine. The company hopes to be affecting 100 millionth C by following summer, a deed China scientists complaint to include reached the monthly. We wait to include power profitability by 2022 and be supply power to the mesh by 2030, says Mr. Carling. Meantime in the U.S., MIT Massachusetts Institution of Technique is work in the again formed state melting system, CFS, to evolve spark, a donut-shaped tokamak in magnet fields keeping the hot plasm in location. Underfunded in portion by Breakout Power Ventures, a foundation led by Draft Gates, Jeff Bezos, Michael Bloomberg and some billionaires, the crew hopes to evolve melting reactors, little quite to be constructed in factories and sent for gathering on website. These individual ventures are stimulating ITER World Fusion Pilot Pile, the flagman world melting draft comprising 35 countries. ITER, that as well tool this path in Roman, is house the largest pilot melting installation in the planet, but it doesn't wait to flame up before 2025, and any business annex will go a length way following how. Several obviously wait to include melting power to the mesh up 2050, for other the roadmap is in the other part of the age. The new guys on the unit believe they can do superior. In the New Heights magnetically technique, a net energy melting unit can be lot less, spark would be on 1/3 the amount and massive of ITER, says Martin Greenwald, Vice CEO of MIT's Plasm Scientific and Melting Center. Less amount tool reduce expenses, outgoing the melting box outdoor to less, more than nimble organizations, says Mr. Greenwald. But all parties appear to accept how the job of ITER, column and the individual segment is additional. In the late, we all stake the identical vision of melting powered power as a mandrel portion of a pure power next, says the ITER representative.